Today, we are here to announce Operation Postal Storm, which is a large-scale drug trafficking investigation that we have been working on since January of this past year. With me today is Assistant District Attorney Dan Troy, who along with Assistant District Attorney Katie Lehman is the head of our drug task force, Lieutenant Nelson Ortiz, Sheriff Mandy Miller, Lieutenant Raymond O'Donnell from the Pennsylvania State Police, Captain Christopher Weinsberg, Pennsylvania State Police, Deputy Chief Aaron Demko from the Reading Police Department, and Anthony D'Amato from U.S. Postal Inspector Service, and Matthew Lynch from the U.S. Postal Inspector Service also, and Mandy Miller, our sheriff. In January 2025, our Berks County Drug Task Force and the Pennsylvania State Police initiated an investigation into a large-scale drug trafficking organization operating in Berks County. The investigation revealed that kilogram quantities of cocaine were being shipped through the United States Postal Service from Puerto Rico to Berks County. In addition, members of the organization were distributing large amounts of methamphetamine. Troopers, detectives collaborated with the United States Postal Service, inspectors, and the drug DEA to dismantle this operation. We utilized a variety of investigative techniques, including undercover drug purchases, intensive surveillance, court-authorized wiretaps. As a result, we were able to obtain sealed search warrants from the Berks County Court of Common Pleas and from a federal district magistrate. Those search warrants were executed on October 20th, 2025. They were executed by our Drug Task Force, Pennsylvania State Police, Reading Police Department, the United States Postal Service, and the DEA. These search warrants were executed at various locations in the city of Reading, including 549 Linden Street, 547 Linden Street, 2310 Fravor Drive, a motel, King's Inn, 1325 North 12th Street, 708 North 13th Street, 401 South 11th Street, Buena Vista, 107 Cali, Washington, in Maguez, Puerto Rico. I may have mispronounced that, but that was what we will term the source of the drugs that were arriving in our county from Puerto Rico. Other search warrants were at 1008 Penn Street, 715 North 12th Street. We also obtained a search warrant for an Acura MDX, and 1008 Penn Street was a Way of Life tattoo studios, and that was searched along with all these other locations. Through the undercover purchases and the execution of search warrants, we recovered bulk quantities of cocaine, methamphetamine, 12 firearms, U.S. currency, and all the defendants who were arrested have been transported to central processing. They were processed, they've been arraigned, and the vast majority of the defendants are in Berks County Jail as we speak. There is another defendant who was arrested, and he is in jail in Puerto Rico. We will be extraditing him back to Berks County to face charges. Let me just go through the PowerPoint. I'll have Detective Lieutenant Ortiz also explain some of the items that are pictured here. This is Jonathan Pagan Vega. He is what we consider at this point the source of supply from Puerto Rico. I'll turn it over to Nelson now if you want to go through the PowerPoint.
The three bottom pictures, you'll see in the next slide, it's more detailed, but basically they've been using the priority flat rate box to transport the kilos from Puerto Rico to Berks County.
This has been a common method of transport, and if you recall from previous investigations, we have uncovered in the past, again, parcels arriving in our county, in our city, from Puerto Rico. And thank you to the United States Postal Service for their assistance in this investigation.
So in this slide here, we see this is one of the boxes that we intercepted, that the postal inspectors intercepted, and this was their process as they opened up the box. All this was inside the box along with the kilo, which you see at the end here. The kilo was wrapped in happy birthday wrapping, and it was in this plastic container. So they try to mask the kilo as much as they possibly can. Also, it's all wrapped multiple layers to hopefully not have a dog detect that there's drugs in the box.
We arrested a number of defendants in this case. Maybe we want to talk a little bit about that previous slide. Yeah, this evidence, Nelson.
Some of the evidence from one of the homes that we seized. Obviously, we don't have all our evidence up on here, but that individual had 3 guns in his possession. These weapons were taken from 3 search warrants, one being the tattoo parlor, a vehicle, and the defendant who owned the tattoo parlor's home. He had those guns in 3 different locations.
And we are investigating and will continue to investigate these firearms. They will be tested, fired, and the casings will be put into our NIBIN system, and we will determine if they were involved in any other crimes in our community.
He's also a person that's not to possess.
What?
He's a person that's not to possess as well.
And so we arrested a number of individuals in this case. The individuals who are in red have not been arrested to date. We would encourage those individuals to turn themselves in. If not, we will find them. We arrested Kelvin Rodriguez Diaz. He is one of the leaders of this organization. He's from the 500 block of Linden Street. Jonathan Pagan Vega is the source of supply from Puerto Rico. He is in jail in Puerto Rico and will be extradited back to Berks County to face prosecution. Edwin Martinez Rodriguez, 33 years of age, from the 2200 block of West Lawn, PA. He also was one of the leaders of this organization, as was Osvaldo Reyes Jimenez from the 1300 block of North 12th Street. Other individuals who were also arrested include Nelson Rafael Leon, Wesley Santiago, Johnny Lopez Cerez, Santos Torres Rodriguez, Victor Sanchez Sr., Henry Massa Alamedo. Emmanuel Rodriguez Santos is wanted Abraham Vega Rodriguez is still wanted. Yasmil Torres, Fernando Corona, Christopher Gottschall, David Serrano, Andre Pendergrass Sr., Andres Vasquez, Andre Pendergrass Jr., Jason Greff, Melissa Batterson, and Roberto Sandoval Jimenez. All of those, he is still wanted. All of the individuals who have been arrested, who are wanted, are depicted in the PowerPoint slides. I can't, again, thank enough the cooperative effort that took place in this investigation. Members of the Berks County Drug Task Force worked closely with the Reading Police Department, with the Pennsylvania State Police, with the DEA, with the United States Postal Inspectors, to again bring to justice and to an end another drug trafficking organization. This organization was responsible for many, many kilos of cocaine coming into our community. We are well aware of that, how that they were bringing in cocaine from Puerto Rico for many, many months, if not more than many, many months. We do believe that this investigation will put a dent into this trafficking of large amounts of cocaine into our community. We also learned through this investigation that some of the efforts of our federal law enforcement partners are making a difference. We clearly learned during this investigation that the U.S. strikes on boats, submarines, is affecting the supply of drugs getting into Puerto Rico and therefore getting into the mainland of the United States. We learned that through the intelligence that we gathered during this investigation, so that those strikes are making a difference. And it is our hope that we can continue to put a dent into the drug trafficking that takes place in our community through the collaborative efforts of all of us in this room. And I am, again, extremely pleased and proud of the hard work of our detectives, our police officers. They're making a difference. And this is just another example of the difference they are making in putting a stop to this drug trafficking war that we face day in and day out. Thank you. Any questions?
Any idea where the 5 individuals are currently located? Are they still in Pennsylvania, or do you believe they're also in Puerto Rico as well?
I believe that they are still here, and I would suggest they turn themselves in.
How many kilos of cocaine and drugs are we talking about here?
We believe that, I'm going to say, 3+ kilos were arriving into our city per week.
Per week?
Per week.
John, what would happen with this? Like, would these individuals who are being charged, would they break it down and sell it?
Yeah, and we'll provide you that information. Listen, there are the main individuals who are involved in this organization, and clearly the source of supply from Puerto Rico, Kelvin Rodriguez Diaz, Edwin Martinez Rodriguez, and Osvaldo Reyes Jimenez were the leaders of this organization. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes. And some of the other individuals who were charged were customers and were not charged with the amount of charges that those 3 individuals face. And we'll provide that information to you momentarily.
What brought your attention to the package in the mail?
Because during the course of the investigation, we realized that that's what they were getting the packages from that's where they were getting the coke from, was from Puerto Rico. And that was one of the reasons why we went the next step and went into the investigation with a warrant.
So you learned that the drugs were coming from Puerto Rico to Reading.
Yes.
You then learned that they were coming through the mail, and then you guys got involved in it.
Yes.
Yes. And this has been, frankly, probably at least the 3rd organization that we investigated that was bringing large amounts of parcels. And interestingly enough, all from Puerto Rico, and I think they all came from the same city. I might not be, and as the source of supply. So we're going to continue to work with our federal counterparts in working to stop this from coming to our community. And while we may not have jurisdiction in Puerto Rico, our federal counterparts do, and we will continue to work closely with them to put an end to these parcels coming into our community.
And we're talking about an extensive network here of these folks shipping drugs through the Postal Service to Berks County. I mean, talk about the complexity and the how big this organization was to ship that much per week into Berks County.
Well, clearly, our investigation started at, with some information, which was then supplemented with further information. And we were able to determine through the intelligence that we gathered that this is how they were operating. And we were able to observe kilos being shipped. We have video from the post office in Puerto Rico. We've got a lot of intelligence out there. And, this is an ongoing investigation. We're not stopping here. We hope through this investigation, we uncover a lot more intelligence that will be utilized to arrest others who are involved in the shipment of drugs into our community.
John, how long of a time frame are we looking here from today, from when these gentlemen were arrested, from the time they started shipping?
To the time they what?
Started shipping from Puerto Rico. How long was the investigation?
Well, we began our investigation in January. And we know that they were shipping parcels since that time from the intelligence that we have gathered. I'm sure in our ongoing investigation, we will uncover a lot more information also. Because we're not stopping now and prosecuting these individuals. We're going to prosecute them, but we're also going to continue to investigate this organization, and we will be working closely with our federal counterparts. We're all at this. We've been at this for a long time, and we're not stopping. So hopefully, those who are involved in this illicit business in our community get out, because we're going to find you, and we're going to arrest you, and you're going to go to jail.
You're saying there's an average of 3 kilos a week?
A what?
3 kilos a week?
We,
An
we,
average since January? That's like
yes, that's what we believe. based on the intelligence that we've gathered during this investigation.
So for 8 months, 3 kilos?
That's what we, yes, that's as we're going back in time, and that's what we believe we can establish from a historical basis.
So the gentleman in Puerto Rico, is he manufacturing it, or is he?
No, he's just part of the shipping.
He's part of the shipping.
He's part of the shipping. I mean, the cocaine is not being manufactured in Puerto Rico. The source of supply is the Caribbean. The Caribbean, and this is one example of why we know that the source of supply is being compromised for the drug dealers with these targets on the boats. We learned through our investigation that the source of supply is being compromised down there. And they're being compromised as a result of the federal work by the federal government to put a stop to these cartels transporting these drugs to the United States through, for us, through Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico has been a source of supply into our city for years, as we've discovered from previous investigations, and they were always parcels. We've gotten, this is not our first parcel investigation, and it won't be our last, probably. Maybe it will, but right now, we're not stopping, and we're going to continue to work with our federal counterparts and our state police, and we're going to hope that we do put an end to this.
Just one last question. Other than Reading, were any of these parcels being delivered to other cities in Pennsylvania that you're aware of?
At this point, we have not determined that. We believe that the parcels here were being delivered and were all being sold in this area. But, you know, this is an ongoing investigation, and we hope and we may learn a lot more information as this investigation continues. Thank you. And if I appreciate everyone coming, and hopefully the word will get out to those involved in this illicit trade, and they will stop. If not, they will be arrested and prosecuted. Thank you.
Is there anyone that can offer Espanol?
What?
Spanish sound?
Are you saying, what was I saying? That he was a person's not to possess.
Oh,
You know, you get half the book.